Frieza destroyed planet Vegeta while sitting in a hover chair with one finger while smiling. That's not an exaggeration. That's literally how it happens in the Dragon Ball Z anime. He raises his index finger, generates a supernova energy ball the size of a small moon, and lobs it at a planet 10 times the mass of Earth. The entire Saiyan homeworld, its population, its atmosphere, everything, turns to dust in about 4 seconds. And that was Frieza in his first form, the weakest version. He had 3 more transformations he hadn't even used yet. By the time he reaches his final form on Namek, he's roughly 240 times stronger than the version that destroyed planet Vegeta. In Dragon Ball Super, Golden Frieza trades blows with Super Saiyan Blue Goku, a form that threatens universal destruction just from its shockwaves. Earth is a marble on a coffee table compared to what Frieza's operating at now. The terrifying part about Frieza isn't his power level, it's his personality. Goku destroys things accidentally, out of carelessness or collateral damage. Frieza destroys planets recreationally. He runs a galactic real estate empire built on genocide. He has personally destroyed so many civilizations that the show stops counting. Earth wouldn't be a challenge for Frieza. It would be a Tuesday. Darkseid is the god of tyranny in the DC universe, and the word god is not a metaphor. He exists as a multiversal constant, a platonic concept of evil that manifests physical avatars in individual universes. The Darkseid you see fighting Superman, that's a fraction of his true self squeezed into a form that doesn't shatter reality just by existing. His signature weapon is the Omega Beams, heat-seeking energy blasts that bend around corners, follow targets through time, and have no known upper limit to their destructive output. In the Final Crisis storyline, Darkseid's mere fall through the multiverse starts dragging all of existence into a singularity. He wasn't attacking anything, he was dying, and his death was collapsing the structure of reality like a bowling ball on a trampoline, pulling everything toward the center. In terms of raw physical feats, Darkseid has beaten Superman unconscious in direct combat. He's shattered Green Lantern constructs that can contain supernova explosions. His Omega Beams have disintegrated beings durable enough to survive planetary destruction. But destroying Earth specifically, that's beneath him. In Final Crisis, he doesn't bother blowing up the planet, he enslaves every mind on it, simultaneously using the anti-life equation, a mathematical proof that free will is meaningless. Every human, including the heroes, becomes a drone in Darkseid's army. Earth doesn't get destroyed, it gets something worse. Majin Buu destroyed Earth in Dragon Ball Z. This isn't a hypothetical, he actually did it. Kid Buu, the original primal form of Buu, gathers a planet-busting energy ball the size of a basketball and chucks it straight into the ground. The Earth detonates from the core outward. No warning, no dramatic countdown, just gone. What makes Buu uniquely horrifying as a planet killer is that he literally cannot be stopped through conventional destruction. Cell can regenerate from a single cell. Buu can regenerate from vapor. In the anime, Vegeta blasts Buu into individual particles scattered across the sky, and every single particle pulls itself back together within seconds. He's been torn apart, vaporized, eaten, and atomized. He always comes back. The Earth's gravitational binding energy is about 2.24 times 10 to the 32nd joules, and Buu casually exceeded that with a move that took less effort than a sneeze. But the scariest version isn't Kid Buu, it's Super Buu after absorbing Gohan, Gotenks, and Piccolo. At that stage, he's intelligent, strategic, and powerful enough that the Supreme Kais, gods who oversee entire quadrants of the universe, consider him an extinction-level cosmic threat. He once screamed so hard he tore a hole between dimensions. Not enough key manipulation or a special technique. He just yelled, and the fabric of space-time ripped open because it couldn't handle the energy output. Planet Earth isn't a fight for Buu, it's a tantrum. Brainiac doesn't destroy planets through brute force. He does it through intelligence so advanced it borders on omniscience, which honestly might be more unsettling. His standard operating procedure is to arrive at a civilization, download the entirety of its knowledge and culture into his ship's database, shrink one city down to bottle size as a souvenir, and then destroy the rest of the planet because it's no longer useful. He's done this to hundreds of worlds across the DC universe. Krypton's capital city of Kandor sits in a jar on his ship. He collected it like a snow globe and then let the rest of the planet deal with its own destruction. In the Brainiac storyline by Jeff Johns, the true Brainiac is revealed to be a being whose ship alone is larger than a continent. He attacks by redirecting stars, not missiles, not energy beams. actual stars hurled at planets like someone flicking marbles. He launched a red sun at Earth specifically to depower Superman before his invasion. The energy output of redirecting a stellar body is somewhere around 10 to 45th joules. The entire global nuclear arsenal is 10 to the 19th. Brainiac treats stars the way a chess player treats pawns. And Earth specifically has attracted Brainiac's obsessive attention because of Superman. He's invaded it more times than most DC villains combined, and each time his technology is more advanced than the last because his entire existence is built around perpetual self-improvement. Fighting Brainiac isn't fighting a villain, it's fighting evolution with a grudge. Beerus is the god of destruction for Universe 7 and Dragon Ball Super, and his job title is not ceremonial. Destroying things is literally his cosmic function. The universe assigned him the role of erasing planets, star systems, and civilizations that have outlived their purpose, and he's been doing it for hundreds of millions of years. When Beerus taps his fingernails on a table in the anime, he accidentally destroys half the planet he's sitting on. That's not a combat feat, that's a dining etiquette problem. In the flashback, he sneezes and wipes out 2 suns. Again, involuntary biological function, 2 stars gone. The gap between Beerus's casual accidents and Earth's total destruction is like the gap between you stepping on an ant and you specifically trying to step on an ant. The outcome is the same either way. His Hakai technique is the scariest ability on this entire list because it doesn't destroy matter, it erases existence. When Beerus uses Hakai on someone, they don't die, they stop having ever been. In the manga, he erases Zamasu, an immortal god, by deleting him from reality in a conceptual level. Immortality, regeneration, dimensional escape, none of it matters when the attack removes you from the fabric of existence itself. If Beerus pointed Hakai at Earth, it wouldn't explode. There would just suddenly be an empty orbit between Venus and Mars, and the rest of the solar system would adjust its gravitational pull like nothing happened. He almost destroyed Earth because he didn't like the food at Bulma's party. That's the margin Earth is working with. The planet's survival depends entirely on whether a cat god thinks the pudding is good enough. In the Transformers universe, Unicron is not a robot. He's a god entity the size of a planet whose sole purpose is consuming other planets. He is, in the most literal possible sense, a world eater. His body is the size of Saturn in most continuities, and he transforms into a mechanical planet that devours celestial bodies the way a whale filters krill. In Transformers the movie from 1986, Unicron eats 2 of Cybertron's moons on screen. Just flies up and swallows them whole. The moons shatter as they enter his maw, millions of tons of metal crushed and digested into raw energy. In the IDW comics, Unicron is even more terrifying. He's consumed entire galaxies over the course of his existence, hopping from universe to universe like a cosmic locust. Earth, relative to Unicron, is a blueberry. He wouldn't even need to transform to destroy it. His gravitational pull alone, being a Saturn-sized metallic body, would rip Earth apart through tidal forces long before physical contact. The Roche limit for a body that massive would shred Earth's crust from thousands of miles away. The oceans would lift off the surface and stream toward him. The mantle would crack and separate, and then what's left would just fall in. The only thing that's ever stopped Unicron is the Autobot Matrix of Leadership, a mystical artifact of divine origin. Humanity doesn't have one of those. We have nuclear submarines and harsh language, and Unicron has been eating things more dangerous than nuclear submarines since before our sun ignited. In Final Fantasy VII, Sephiroth summons a meteor the size of a small continent and drops it on the planet. That's not a limit break or a special attack with a cooldown timer, that's his actual plan, executed over the course of the game, and it nearly works. Meteor in Final Fantasy VII is described as a magic powerful enough to wound the planet's core, forcing the lifestream, the planet's literal life force, to rush to the impact site and pool there for Sephiroth to absorb. The energy required to crack a planetary core through impact is in the range of 10 to the 32nd joules, roughly equivalent to the gravitational binding energy of Earth. And Sephiroth calls this spell from across the solar system, channeling it through the black materia, while his physical body is encased in crystal at the bottom of a crater. He doesn't even need to be awake to end the world. But Meteor is just the flashy move. Sephiroth's supernova attack in the game literally detonates the sun, sending a blast wave that incinerates Mercury, Venus, Earth, and every planet out to Jupiter. Now, yes, it's a game mechanic, your party survives it, but the visual representation is clear. Sephiroth can trigger a stellar detonation. Our sun going supernova would release roughly 10 to the 44th joules. That's a trillion times more energy than it takes to unbind Earth's gravity. The planet wouldn't just be destroyed, it would be atomized so thoroughly that the individual atoms would be too scattered to ever form a pebble again. Galactus is the devourer of worlds in the Marvel Universe, and unlike every other entry on this list, destroying planets isn't something he does out of malice. It's lunch. He's a cosmic entity who predates the current universe, having survived the Big Bang that created everything we know, and he sustains his existence by consuming the life energy of planets. His standard method is arriving at a planet, deploying a massive energy conversion machine, and draining the world until it's a barren, lifeless husk that crumbles apart. He's done this to countless planets across the Marvel Universe: the Skrull throne world, the Kree outposts, dozens of civilizations with technologies centuries beyond humanity's, all devoured. Earth has only survived multiple Galactus encounters because of the Fantastic Four, the Silver Surfer, and the Ultimate Nullifier, a weapon so powerful that even Galactus fears it. Without those interventions, Earth is a standard meal. And a fully fed Galactus is one of the most powerful beings in all of Marvel. He's fought Mephisto in his own dimension and won. He swatted away the Sphinx, who was empowered by a cosmic artifact. He once fought 4 mad Celestials simultaneously. These are beings who individually tower over planets and can rearrange the genetic code of entire species with a gesture, and Galactus held his ground against 4 of them at once. The cruelest detail is that Galactus doesn't enjoy it. He's described the hunger as agony. He has begged for alternatives, but the universe literally requires him to eat planets to maintain the cosmic balance between eternity and death. Earth's destruction in Galactus' story wouldn't even be a villain's victory. It would be a tragedy performed by a god who has no choice. Zeno is a 3-foot-tall childlike being who rules over every universe in Dragon Ball Super. He doesn't fight, he doesn't strategize, he doesn't have techniques or transformations, he just erases things. During the Tournament of Power, Zeno erases entire universes, their planets, their stars, their populations, every atom and every soul by raising his hand and pressing his palms together. Universe 9 is the first to go. Billions of beings across countless galaxies deleted in under 2 seconds. There's no explosion, no dramatic energy wave. Reality just stops existing in that space. The Grand Priest, who's arguably the 3rd strongest being in all of Dragon Ball, watches this happen and doesn't flinch because even he knows there's absolutely nothing anyone can do about it. Zeno has done this before. There used to be 18 universes. He erased 6 of them because he was in a bad mood. 6 universes, each containing potentially infinite galaxies, gone because Zeno was having an off day. To put destroying Earth in perspective, Zeno erasing Earth would be like you deleting a single pixel from a photograph. It's so far below the scale of what he normally operates at that it barely qualifies as an action. And the thing that makes Zeno uniquely terrifying is that he's not evil, he's not calculating, he's a child with the power of absolute deletion who thinks erasing civilizations is fun. Every god in Dragon Ball, Beerus included, visibly trembles in his presence. Goku is the only person in the multiverse casual enough to call him Zen-chan, and even Goku has been warned that if he annoys Zeno, everything goes. The Anti-Monitor didn't destroy one Earth, he destroyed all of them. Every Earth, across every parallel universe in the DC multiverse, consumed to fuel his ascension to supreme power. That's the plot of Crisis on Infinite Earths, the most important crossover in DC history, and the Anti-Monitor is the reason it happened. Before the Crisis, the DC multiverse contained infinite parallel Earths. Infinite. The Anti-Monitor ate them, one by one, converting each universe's positive matter energy into antimatter that expanded his domain. By the time the heroes rallied, only 5 Earths remained out of infinity. The energy contained in a single universe is estimated at roughly 10 to the 69th joules. The Anti-Monitor consumed a functionally infinite number of those. The math doesn't even work at that point. His power level is infinity times unimaginable, and that's the lowball estimate. It took the combined might of every hero and villain across all remaining realities to slow him down. Supergirl died fighting him. The Flash died trapping him in a time loop. Darkseid hit him with the full power of his Omega beams, and it annoyed him. The Spectre, God's literal angel of vengeance in the DC universe, fought him to a stalemate. That's the level of force required to match him, and even then, they couldn't kill him outright. Destroying one Earth is a footnote in the Anti-Monitor. He ate universes the way most people eat popcorn, handful after handful, barely paying attention, until there was almost nothing left. If this list has a final boss, it's him.